I guess we need an intro. Let's go.
Hey, what is good, everybody, and welcome back to the Entrepreneur 360 podcast. First off, happy 2025, y'all. Man, we made it. 2024 was wild, but 2025 is going to be a good year. I can feel it. So, firstly, hope everybody had a great break with your family and relaxed a lot and took some time off. Really important time of the year. First off, if you wouldn't mind, do me a favor, as usual. Just give a like and a subscribe, whatever platform you're listening to this on. Please show some love, and please, especially this episode, share this episode with somebody in your life that you feel needs a bit of a push, because this is a goodie. I'm really stoked about this episode. I'm really excited about this episode. I want to, obviously, as you can tell from the title, we're talking about setting goals for 2025, but actually achieving them. This is one that's pretty close to my heart because I'm in my 40s, and for the first time in my life, last year, 2024, was the first time that I actually set some damn goals. And I'm very stoked to say that I achieved every single one of them. Everything I said I was going to do, I did do, and it was easy. And that's what I want to share today. I want to share with you guys the way that I set my goals in 2025 and what I did to achieve them. Because I feel like, as I said, it was super easy. I did it in such a way that probably most people wouldn't agree with what I've done. But the results is there. The outcome was achieved, and I'm stoked with myself. So I feel like it's a good message. I feel like it's something that if you're listening to this, you can learn from. If you're struggling with this kind of thing, and if you're looking forward to doing this year, I feel like what I'm going to share is going to be helpful to you. So I'm just going to go through very basically what I did and what I'm going to be doing this year. Before I start, actually taking these off. Before I start, I am going to just tell you guys that what I've done, as well as one of the key things and one of the key artifacts or tools that I had for achieving this in last year was a pretty massive calendar. It's an A2 calendar, whatever it is, that I put on the wall. That helped me keep focused, helped me know what I was doing, what was coming up, and helped me just track what I was up to. I've created one of these calendars. There's a great one out there, Jesse Itzler. For those who don't know Jesse Itzler, go look him up, very cool guy. He's the guy who wrote the book Living with a Seal. Obviously, that was David Goggins. We found out afterwards. But he's got I think he calls it the big ass calendar, or the big motherfucking calendar, or something like that. Go check out his calendar. It's pretty much, mine is, it's literally just 365 days on the wall where you can keep a note next to each one. So if you're interested and you want that calendar, just click the link in the bio. You'll find the link tree in the bio. Click the link, download the calendar. It's free. There's no cost. Put it on your wall. It's going to help you with what I'm going to share. And I think it's going to help you just generally keep track of what you're up to. I think why this is interesting to me, or why this is interesting for me to share, is for those people who know me quite well, you know that I'm a super, super chilled person. As I said, I've never set any goals in my life. I've never said, hey, I'm going to lose 5 kilos, or hey, I'm going to run a half marathon, literally until it came into 2024. And I said, you know what? I'm going through this journey and I am enjoying myself, and I want to, I've always thought about setting goals, never really got around to it. So let me set some goals. And as I say, I achieved every single one of them. So I've always just kind of rolled with the punches and taken what's come. And thankfully, my life, I've been exceptionally privileged and lucky. The jobs that I've had have sent me amazing places around the world. They've given me amazing experiences. I've never had to set goals. I've never had to say, hey, I really want to go to this country or that country, because that kind of stuff just luckily just came to me in the jobs that I was working. But the goals that I set last year were very much physical, very much personal development wise. And as I say, I'm stoked to with the what I've achieved in those with those goals. I'm going to share, as I say, what worked for me, because it was easy and it was achievable. I hope it'll work for you. As I said, you'll probably find most people who are way smarter than me, way more experienced than me, way more qualified than me, are going to say, no, that's a stupid idea. Hey, maybe it's a bit stupid idea. I'm full of stupid ideas. But they work. They work for me. It might work for you. Give it a go. If at the very least, if you get to March, April, and you've achieved some goals, at least that's better than getting to nowhere and achieving nothing. So this kind of kicked off for me when I was watching a video recently on YouTube by a guy named Cole Hastings, and he was talking about the kind of the death of self-help gurus, and or the fall of self-help gurus. And I think for me, what really hit home was the keys in the name there, self-help. I think what we've landed up with in the world today is we tend to go into Instagram, go into TikTok, wherever we are, and we follow these self-help gurus, these self-help people who are like, hey, self-help this, self-help that. But we don't ever actually land up helping ourselves. At the end of the day, you are the one who has to help yourself. Those guys you are following, whose videos you're watching, whose videos you're commenting on and liking, they're not going to do anything for you to help yourself. You have to do it yourself. So the key's in the name there. And I think that on these platforms today, in this world that we've got, there's an absolute overwhelm of support. There is way too much of this kind of thing, especially with the algorithms and the way they work. So I hate social media so much, and I'm not on it that much at all, is because the minute you like a video or the minute you watch a self-help video, you're just going to be inundated with a whole bunch of similar videos. And what ends up happening is we get this like overwhelm of information. There are so many people telling us what to do that we actually forget to trust ourselves and actually understand, hey, this is what's good for me. This is what feels good for me. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to actually listen to this person. They've motivated me to get off my ass. Let me go do what feels natural to me and then go do it. So, once I watched that video, I started thinking, man, fuck, this makes a lot of sense to me. Like, there are way too many people, and I guess I'm just adding to the noise. But again, I'm just letting the people who know me and follow me and are liking what I do know what worked for me. I realized also, I did a bit of research into this, and it's quite scary. There's a few little things that happen. 80% of New Year's resolutions are abandoned by February, which was pretty scary to me. I was actually quite surprised to find out it was February and not January, because I think a lot of people don't even make it through Jan. There's a thing called Quitters Day, which is the second Friday of January. It's unofficially known as Quitters Day, where most people just give up. And there's the 10% club, which is only about 10% of people who make resolutions actually achieve them. So the point of this video and the point of this podcast episode is to hopefully encourage people out there to not fall into these traps and not become those people. Be the person who gets to June, July and goes, man, I'm still on track with my goals, fitness goals, work goals, business goals, relationship goals, whatever it is. I'm still on track, man. I'm still keeping those meetings with my wife. I still take her out for a date once a week, as I said I would from the beginning of the year. Or my business is humming and I'm moving to the next level, as I said I would in the beginning of the year. So here's what worked for me. And as I say, I think it'll work for you as well if you give it a go. The first thing I want to say, and the first thing I would say, is get the fuck off social media. Get the fuck off social media and do it as soon as possible. I know it's hypocritical because you're probably watching this video on social media or something like that. I put a lot of stuff out. Create a lot of content. I put it out onto social media. I don't consume anything on social media. I don't spend not even 5 minutes a day, not even 5 minutes a week scrolling on social media. It makes me feel shit about myself. It makes me feel, it draws my energy, and it makes me tired. And to be honest with you, I don't really care with how the content that I create does on social media. I don't care about likes. I don't care about followers. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. The only place I engage on social media is in the DMs, where I find a lot of people prefer to talk to me in DMs. So that's the only place I think. Get off social media. The only thing you're going to find on social media is disappointment and comparison. And these are two things that are going to kill your motivation for achieving your goals. You're going to sit there watching other people go, hey, why haven't I gotten there yet? Why haven't I gotten that far? Why don't I have that? What am I doing wrong? It's just going to make you self-doubt yourself and critical of yourself. So get the hell off social media. I know a lot of people's resolutions, New Year's resolutions, is to be off social media anyway. So get through January, get through February, just stay off social media. It's absolute cancer. The second thing that I would suggest you do, and this is something else that I also kind of fell into the gap on when I was living in Los Angeles, was I was also following a lot of people online, following a lot of thought leaders, and I would just consume their content, study their content, take in what they were saying, and I never actually did anything with it. So stop studying and start doing, right? If you find someone you like, follow them, and get involved with them and consume their content. But then at some point, you need to put that content down and say, right, let me go actually implement this into my life. Too many people think that watching motivational videos on social media or YouTube is going to get them to their goals. They think it's part of the workout. They think it is the workout. It's not the workout. Your workout is your workout. Your doing of the work is the workout. So even if it's a wrong workout or a soft workout, it's better than sitting on your ass just consuming some other idiots, or not idiots. A lot of them have good things to say, good things to share. Better than consuming that content and watching other people achieve their goals and get places than you not doing anything. So stop studying, start doing. The third thing, you've got to do the work, okay? Achieving your goals and achieving the body you want and having the relationship you want and having the business you want. Unfortunately, that's why I hate social media so much, is because it pulls us away from actually doing the work. You have to get out there and actually do the work, right? So when I say that, the next thing I would say is go do something that you enjoy. You're only going to do the work if you're enjoying what you do. So for example, don't take up cycling if you hate cycling. Don't start going to CrossFit if you absolutely abhor CrossFit. You're not going to stick it out. You're going to hate doing the work and you're not going to stick to it. It's not going to be sustainable. So do the work, but do something that you enjoy in the work. Go find, if you, in your business, if you partner up with someone who you don't particularly like, no matter how good it is for the business, you're probably not going to sustain that relationship because you don't like them. If you decide to start offering a service in your business, but you don't particularly enjoy that service or you're not very good at it, you're not going to sustain it, so don't do it. Find stuff that you enjoy, even if it doesn't yield the best results. If you don't enjoy it, you won't sustain it. So do the work, but find work that you enjoy doing. I'll give you an example in my life, and I don't give a shit about the judgments that I'll get for this. This year, I picked up skipping. Skipping literally with a rope, like a toddler or like a primary school kid skipping with a rope. The absolute best workout that I've found. I've become like everybody says about, how do you know if someone does CrossFit, is a vegan, does 75 hard, does ice baths? They'll tell you. Same thing about skipping, man. Anybody I'll speak to or listen to me, I'll tell them I'll do skipping. Skipping is one of the most phenomenal activities you can do. It's very healthy, it's very good for you. But that's not why I do it. I do it because I love it. It's taught me, and as is where the judgment part might come in and I don't give a shit, it's taught me how to dance. It's taught me how to dance. It's taught me dance moves. It's taught me stuff that I never in my life, thought, I told myself, no, you'll never be able to do that. I'm doing that. In a couple of weeks, I'm able to learn stuff. I love skipping, so it's making me do that. It's work I don't mind doing, so I show up and I do it. Poise, another one. For those who don't know what poise is, like just spinning balls around you, basically it's dancing kind of thing. Not particularly great workout. I have to wear like a weighted vest when I do it, for example. But I come out sweating. Is it the best workout? Is it the best 45 minutes that I could spend? No, definitely not. I could definitely go for a run and sweat much harder. But I'm loving the poise. So it's keeping me engaged. It's keeping me enjoying it. Swimming. I hate swimming. I'm not a good swimmer. I won't drown. If you ever see me swimming, you ever come swimming with me, don't worry, you won't have to save me. But do I enjoy it? No, I hate it. I hate cycling. I think cycling is an antisocial sport for dickheads. And I think you agree with me. Most people I speak to agree. I don't do things I don't enjoy. Do things you enjoy, you'll do the work. Number 4, fall in love with the process. So fall in love with the entire process. You've got to understand and accept that you're not going to achieve results in 1 week, in 1 month. Even in a year, you might not achieve the results you want. But don't give up. You've got to understand that there's a process there. There are multiple things you're going to need to do in order to achieve the goal that you want. You're going to have to make a lot of phone calls. You're going to have to send a lot of emails. You've got to fall in love with that process. You've got to understand that there is work to be done. And fall in love with every step of the process. That's the exact reason why you need to do something you enjoy. When I started skipping, for example, you feel like an idiot with 2 left feet for the first week. I'm not particularly coordinated. I'm not better or worse than anybody else. I'm a pretty average human being. Even I was able to learn how to skip and learn some of the basic moves in a week. But because I was able to achieve those little basic moves, Sweat 1000, for those who don't know, is a pretty normal, I think it's pretty conventional. A lot of different gyms do it. It's a show up, there's treadmills, and there's a mat. You spend 10 minutes on the treadmill, 10 minutes on the mat, 10 minutes on the treadmill, 10 minutes on the mat. I used to wake up every morning at 5 o'clock, And I used to go to Sweat 1000, and I used to hate every single step of it. I love waking up at 5 a.m. to go for a run, but waking up at 5 a.m. to go to Sweat 1000 was an absolute chore. I hated Sweat 1000. I hated the music they played. I hated the instructors. No offense to them, they weren't bad people. I just hated their style and the way that they were. It was monotonous. Every class was the same. The exercises were the same. The music was the same. The environment was the same. The people were shitty. They weren't really particularly friendly. And for those who know me, that's a big deal. I hated Sweat 1000. The whole process, I hated. I hated finishing Sweat 1000 and going downstairs and deciding, should I have a coffee, should I not have a... I just hated everything. So I stopped. I did what I needed to. I got my money's worth, and then I got out, and I haven't been back, and I won't go back. It's just not a process that I can fall in love with. So don't do things that you can't fall in love with. Number 5, this is a biggie, is you've got to identify something. You've got to identify as what you are trying to achieve. So, for example, for me, it was running. I've always run. My father was a big runner. I've always run. I've run 5Ks, run 10Ks. My whole life I've run. But I've never been a runner. It was only in the beginning of 2024 when I actually said to myself, it was actually the end of 2023, I said to myself, dude, if you want to become a runner, if you want to enjoy running more, you've got to start identifying as a runner. You've got to start saying to yourself, hey, you are a runner. So you have to surround yourself and start behaving like a runner. So you've got to buy the gear, you've got to get the running shoes, you've got to get make sure you set the alarm and understand that it's going to take XYZ to get out of bed. You've got to, for men, you've got to buy the nipples for your you've got to buy the plasters for your nipples. I don't know if men, if you guys know that, but the women definitely don't know it. I know that guys' nipples chafe when they run. I learned this the hard way. I had to go out and buy plasters. The minute I started doing those little things and identifying with this issue, and people would tell me, hey, why are you buying so many plasters? Oh no, they're for my nipples because I'm a runner. The minute I started referring to myself as a runner and identifying myself as a runner, all of a sudden I started to fall in love with running. It started to make sense to me. The most recent one for me has been ice bathing. And I don't care if you've heard enough about ice bathing. It's one of the best things you can do. And this is a formal invitation to anybody listening to this. If you want to try it out, please. If I do see you on the street, I will invite you for an ice bath. So just letting you know. But the most recent one has been ice bathing. I got back into this year, spent the whole of winter jumping into a freezing cold pool at 2 degrees, came into the summer, and all of a sudden I didn't have that challenge in my life. I didn't have that discomfort in my life. I've now bought myself a chest freezer along with my mate John Cohen, and we are ice bathing every day this year so far, actually. And I could say that it's the 8th or whatever of the month. Every day this year I've had an ice bath. And I identify as an ice bather. It's made it much easier for me to get to that ice bath and do that sucky, shitty, horrible activity. Because I know it's good for me and I know it's going to make me feel fantastic, even though it's tough to do. But I've got to identify as an ice bather. So, identify as something. Number 6 is set specific goals. So this is probably where most people are going to disagree with me on how to set goals and how to achieve goals. And it's pretty simple why. I don't like numbers. I don't think that when it comes to numbers, it's a good way to achieve goals. I feel like it's one of the things that really derails us and demotivates us. And I'll give you a perfect example. Now that I'm a runner and I go running, I set my watch, I turn my watch on, and then I play music and I run. I don't give a shit how far I've run. I don't give a shit about my pace. I don't give a shit about how many kilometers I run, or I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about how many push-ups I do. I don't care about my weight. I really don't care. It's meaningless to me because I've watched too many people go, hey, I want to be 75 kilos by the end of February, and the end of February comes in, they're 80 kilos, and go, oh, well, then what's the point? I haven't even gotten close. So they give up. For me, I think it's a much better idea to make your goals achievements or experiences. Because I feel like if your goal is an achievement or an experience, it doesn't matter what you weigh or how far you run if you're experiencing or achieving what you want to achieve. I'll give you an example. If you make your achievement or your experience, and I'm using fitness goals here, but it can be anything in your business, whatever it is. if you say, for example, that the achievement or the experience you want to have is to walk around without a shirt on around the pool by the end of summer 2025 in South Africa, so end of March. You want to have that confidence, you want to look good enough in your body to do that. All of a sudden, weighing 75, you might get to 75 kilos, and you may still not feel like you're able to walk around without a shirt on. You're not going to achieve your goal. You'll weigh 75, but you still haven't gotten to that confidence level where you're happy to walk around with a shirt on. Let's say you want to join your husband for a run. He's a big runner and he runs 10Ks every day. And you want to say, hey, I want to be a better runner. I want to identify as a runner. I want to be a better runner. I'm saying, don't say you want to run a 5K. Don't say you want to run a 10K. Say you want to run a 10K with your husband. Make it an experience. Because firstly, at running, you'll surprise yourself at how good you are and how easy it is to actually achieve that goal. So you maybe will fall in love with the process of running, knowing that your goal is by the end of March to run a 10K with your husband. And you might get to the middle of February and go, geez, I just ran 7Ks and I feel like I could go even longer. Let me push to 10Ks. Shit, I'm running 10Ks. I could easily run. I could run. All of a sudden, you've smashed your goal. You're doing it well before. But if you were saying, hey, I want to run 10Ks, and you put yourself on a plan, you go, I'm going to run 5Ks. It's those numbers are just, and if you fail to run or you walk half of the 10Ks, you're going to feel shit about yourself. So for me, having the experience or the achievement is way more important than the actual numbers of the goals. And I know, as I said, I'm only sharing with you what worked for me. I know people are going to disagree with this, and that's fine. If you do disagree with it, let me know, man. Let's have a conversation about it. I'd love to chat. But for me, this is what worked. I didn't turn around and go, hey, I want to ice bath every day. I want to jump in the pool every day of the year. Because if I'd missed one of those days in June, July, I would have gone like, oh man, I failed. What I said was, hey, I want to be an ice bath. I want to get comfortable in the discomfort. I want to be uncomfortable. I want to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. So I'm going to ice bath because it forces you to do something uncomfortable. All of a sudden, it didn't matter how many days I missed. I knew that if I missed 5 days, I could go to the edge of that water at 2 degrees and jump in and go, fuck, you're still in ice bath, bro, well done. You're still comfortable in the uncomfortable, well done. So that's the way that I look at it, and it's worked for me. I think this one's a really important one. Number 7 is cut yourself a break and give yourself a break. The other thing this is another reason that I tend to stay off social media as well, as I feel like some of the advice is not really that good. I think of a guy like Gary Vee, who I think is unbelievable and phenomenal and done exceptionally well. But I do think that his focus or his message of fucking hustle, just hustle, work. And he loves to talk about how he didn't party a single day in his 20s or his 30s. All he did was work. I'm sitting there going, bro, like, well, then what's the point of living, bro, if all you're doing is grafting? Like, I get it, money is important. It's not that important to me. But I understand why he's pushing that message, because, like, money is important and the young people want to, like, be successful. But you've also got to live, man. Life's for lifing. And if all you're doing is head down on your goals and head down in the process and head down and never giving yourself a break, never cutting yourself a break, you're really going to start resenting your goals. You're going to start resenting the process. So I say, give yourself a break, cut yourself a break, be kind to yourself. I think of like 75 hard, and you have to do 2 45-minute workouts every day. 75 days, 2 45-minute workouts. You absolutely cannot. I don't care what age you're at. You absolutely cannot do 2 heavy gym weight workouts, 2 heavy runs, 2 heavy hit workouts, 2 heavy whatever it is, swims every day for 75 days. You just can't. So you have to be kind to yourself if you're going to make it. You have to look into yourself and go, hey, you know what? Yoga's a good workout. I'm going to do 45 minutes of yoga today. Twice a week, that'll be my workout. Another twice a week, I'll do a lacquer walk with a nice big weighted vest on. Cut yourself a break. Look after yourself and be kind to yourself. That's about as hippie as I'm going to get on this podcast. Number 8, and this speaks directly into my inner genius. This speaks directly into who I am. And for those of you who I've engaged with over the past year, you know. Number 8, don't do it alone. Please don't do it alone. There are people out there, this is a big message that I've shared in a lot of the episodes I've done, is people want to help you. People care about you. People love you. At the end of the day, the work's up to you. You've got to do the work. They climb into bed. They've got their own problems. They go to bed at night. They're having their own nightmares. You've got to do the work yourself. But that doesn't mean they don't care, they don't love you, and they don't want to help you. So don't do your goals alone. Accountability is massive. I know. I was a lone wolf for many, many years. I was like, oh no, I can do this myself. I don't need help, etc. You do need help. And we all need help. And there's people out there who want to help us. So ask for help. Find someone who's on a similar journey to you and ask them to hold you accountable. I heard an amazing thing this week. I was watching an episode on YouTube by, give me a second and I'll tell you now. Dan Martell. He's a guy that I really like. I like his message. I like his way, and he's devilishly handsome. Dan Martell was saying, and it's so true, and I think we can all relate to this. He doesn't do things alone. He does things with partners, or he does things with other people. Why? Because he's more inclined to show up for someone else than he is to show up for himself. I'll say that again. He's more inclined to show up for someone else than he is to show up for himself. So he's nicer to other people than he is to himself. I don't think he's special. I think we're all exactly the same. We are much more likely to show up for someone else than we are to show up for ourselves. We are very quick to cut ourselves a break, but we are hard on other people. And if you find someone who's on a journey similar, it doesn't have to be the same journey as you, but you find someone who's on a similar journey to you, or even on a completely different journey, but is going to accept to be your accountability partner and say, hey dude, get the hell out of bed. You said you were going to achieve this goal, go to hell and do the work. It's going to make all the difference, because they will show up for you and you will show up for them. Don't do it alone. Do it with someone else. For me, that's been this podcast. I have been sharing my journey with whoever wants to listen to it, and it's kept me accountable. Because when I say to someone, hey, I'm going to cold plunge and swim in the swimming pool every day of winter in 2-degree water, if I say it to a mate or to a friend or to a family member, it means nothing as far as I'm concerned, because they can check in on you, say how's it going, they can look over the shoulder and say, oh, he's not doing it, he's doing it, but you don't really feel that bad. But when you put it out in public, that's kind of why I've been so vulnerable on this podcast or on social media in general, is it's allowed me to put this stuff out into public, and it's kept me accountable. Because if I run into anybody who listens to what I've said and they say to me, dude, I listened to your podcast and you said that you were going to start a new business that did XYZ. How's that going? I don't know how to answer them if I haven't done it. So it keeps me accountable, makes sure that I actually go out and do what I say I'm going to do. I love you guys. That's what I have to say. I really hope that you took some value out of this and that you share this with somebody. Firstly, that you use this, then share it with somebody who needs this, especially first week of the year. This is the time to dial in. Make achieving your goals as easy as possible. Link to the calendar, which is going to help you. Put it up on a wall and just use it. It's going to help you. Put your big goals into the calendar throughout the year. What are the big goals you want to achieve? Even if they move. I put a lot of goals into my calendar over the last year that I had to move a week back or move a week forward or just move to a new month. It doesn't matter. I achieved them. So I gave myself a break. I was like, dude, if you say that you failed this goal just because you did it a week later, you're going to feel shit about yourself. You did the goal. You failed to do it on time. Fine. I've never been good with deadlines. What am I supposed to say? But get the calendar, super free on this way, on the link in the bio. Please share this with somebody, and I'll catch you guys soon. Love you all. Bye.